Oh, you're so bitter, aren't you? But we're going to start off talking about Liverpool, ironically, playing at Anfield last night, losing by a goal to 0 against Burnley. Now, I was on air last night, obviously taking calls on the back of it, from, understandably, very, very happy Burnley fans, and we'll talk about Nick Pope a bit later on, but irate Liverpool fans, and some of them quite worried, not necessarily just about not being able to retain the Premier League, but also top four under question. So, firstly, what did you make of the performance from Liverpool? What have you made of Jurgen Klopp's comments afterwards as well, etc., etc.? What sum up Liverpool for me at the moment?
Cool. I mean, you have to say right now, I think inconsistent, as we all know. I don't think they quite know where they are. I think they've lost a little bit of their edge. Listen, when you work as hard as they have done, they fought like crazy to get above Manchester City, to go past City when they got pepped by 1 point, which is obviously right down to the last game of the season. They picked themselves off the floor, go again, were superb last season, brilliant last year, and then. I think when you're on top, when you're chasing to be the top dogs, I think you'll give everything. You'll run a bit further, you'll do everything you can. But I think once they've got there, maybe they've relaxed a little bit, and other teams have kind of sensed that. And I don't think you could, as the Premier League football goes, you can't just switch it on and off when you feel like it. You've got to be a bit consistent. You look how hard Manchester City when they went back to back. You know what I mean? United have done back to back. It's a tough thing to do. But I just think right now they've had chances in games to win games. So it's not like they're not getting any chances. They've had chances. They've missed clear-cut chances. But right now, at the minute, I just think they've lost a little bit of their mojo.
Why have they lost a bit of the mojo? Who is that down to? Is it down to the manager? The reason I ask is because we all knew that Van Dijk was injured. We all knew he's probably going to be out for the remainder of the season. Gomez, we know injury. Matip's just coming up. But my point is we knew there's a huge problem at centre-half. Now, what they've been doing quite often is putting Fabinho and Henderson in there, two players out of position. Yeah. But, of course, so you're losing those two from the middle of the park. So, effectively, with two centre-halves being out, you're effectively losing four players, four key positions. They've known about this for a long, long time. Why hasn't Jurgen Klopp done anything about this problem? Because it's a massive problem.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's targets out there. And I've heard people talk about maybe they couldn't get a centre-half in because who wants to go to Liverpool knowing that when everyone's fit, they'll be third choice. But I don't think it works like that because, Van Dijk, he's the nailed-on to start. He completely changed Liverpool when he got there, taking him and Alisson. You have to put Alisson in the same bracket. But I like Joe Gomez. I'm a fan of his, but I don't think he's been that consistent. I think we've seen him make mistakes and struggle a little bit at times. Joel Matip, as you said, can't stay fit all the time. So I think if they could have got somebody in, I don't think they would have had to worry about, I'm not going to play when all these centre-halves gets back, because I think it's Van Dijk's the nailed on and one other. So it's about whoever takes that second spot. So you could put that down to, I know Alaba's been mentioned, but he looks like he's got his heart set on going to Real Madrid, because that would have been the obvious one. He's on a free in the summer. But maybe they've been trying to get it. Maybe the calibre of player that they want wasn't out there. The clubs were wanting too much money to spend in January. Who knows? But I still think even with the defensive problems, they've had enough chances in games with the firepower that they've got. Like Firmino, we know. I think he's got no goals in his last 6. That doesn't help. Salah's got 1 in his last 6, and that 1 was against Villa in the cup against the kids. And Mane's got 3 and 6, and I think even a couple of them were against the kids at Aston Villa. So that's where the problem is, because these guys here score a lot of goals. Salah, top goal scorer in the Premier League. Unbelievably.
Whenever anyone says that, I'm like, are you sure?
Exactly.
I know, it's crazy.
He's top scorer in the league. Mane, I still think he's their best player. And Firmino, who's never really been a regular goal scorer, but he's not scoring at all at the minute. You put them numbers into the Premier League in the last few games, that's why Liverpool fell off from where they are.
What about Thiago? Question marks over...
I've got no question marks about him because I really rate him. And I think he's perfect.
You still think he's better than Bruno?
I do, yeah. I said, no. Let's just clear this up. What I said was he had a better 2020.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which he did.
Who's better now? Who'd you rather have right now with their form that they're showing in the Premier League?
Kevin De Bruyne.
No, out of the two.
No, Kevin De Bruyne.
You wouldn't now because he's out for about 6 weeks.
I'd still have him.
Go on, tell me about Thiago then. Quite a few Liverpool fans are questioning whether or not he slows down play.
People say that, but when you're playing against a team like Liverpool, you tend to defend a lot deeper. Then you're like 2 banks of 4, like a low block, defending deep. You need players that have got that kind of ability to break the lines with a single pass. And now he's the best at giving you the eyes as such, where he's looking wide, but he knows where Firmino is without looking, and just fires it between the lines. And that just breaks up the whole defensive, obviously, block that they've got in there. And even against Newcastle when he come on, he's spraying it wide. So the fact that they're trying to make an excuse by saying he slows it down, no, listen, it was good enough for Bayern Munich when they went on to win everything. So you can't just now all of a sudden go, right, it's Thiago's fault because Liverpool having a bit of a blip.
Are there any question marks over Jurgen Klopp? He had a Dortmund side that he ran into the ground over 6 years, ironically. This is his 6th year at Liverpool. Are there question marks over the manager?
No, for what he's done. Listen, they're Premier League champions. They won the Champions League a couple of years ago. But something needs to give there. He needs to change up something. Like, we know how good this team is, but he might have to end up moving a piece on, whether it be Salah or somebody to generate a lot of money to then try and freshen up.
Like the Coutinho scenario.
A little bit, yeah. Like Jota's come in and he give everyone a lift. That's a big miss, Jota.
Yeah.
But maybe he has to kind of maybe sell somebody just to bring in, freshen it up a little bit, whether it be, I don't know, who's out there. Serge Gnabry from Bayern or Jadon Sancho. He's still at Dortmund. That's another option, just to freshen things up.
Okay. And what about, I'm just looking through the team now, about Trent, what's happened to him?
I don't know.
From one of the best right-backs in the world.
Yeah. But maybe he's young. And for someone who's as young as him, he's playing a lot of games, by the way. And
is it confidence when you're that young? Like if you
I think you just go for a blip. All young players will go for it where he burst onto the scene, got to a Champions League final, then won the Champions League, won the Premier League. I mean,
where does he go from here?
Where does he go? Of course, he was never going to.
Maybe he should leave and go to a big club.
So you're saying there right now on air? No, don't laugh.
You know I'm joking. Okay, so we've got lots of questions to ask Liverpool fans out there. As always, 08717223344. And I'll chuck in as well top 4. And this is genuine now. Top 4. Is that under?
No, I can't see it. No,
is it not?
No,
you say that. But I'm looking at the league table now. They're 4th, obviously. Spurs are below them with a game in hand. They're point behind them. Everton have got 2 games in hand. They're 2 points behind them. You got. I'm going to throw West Ham into the mix. They're 2 points off them.
No, I think even though they're decimated with injuries, I still think they've got more than enough to finish.
Can they win the league title this season?
They still could if they put a run together. But for me, right now, the favourites are Manchester City.
Okay,